Hello, good day everyone. My name is Sayed Arinaki and I am here along with my group members for the recording of the presentation of the assessment 2 of the business research methods. So this is the second assessment. So we have prepared along with my group members. So I will take a moment to introduce myself and my other group members. Myself is Sayed Arinaki and my student ID is 64364. So with me there are two other group members. One is Priya Shepa, her student ID is 64544, and the third member is Dishank Vipulbai, and his student ID is 64712. So we have selected the research paper number 36 from all the list of the research papers which were provided on the LMS portal. So the topic of the research paper was the total quality management and the organizational success. So we will critically analyze the pros and cons, all the flaws, merits and drawbacks of this research paper on the upcoming slides. So in this slide, I will talk about the overview of our presentation. So on the next slide, I will talk about the introduction of the research paper. Then we will talk about the research objectives and we will try to identify the problem statement. Then we will just provide an analysis of the methodology which has been utilized by the researcher, and then we will briefly summarize the findings of the research paper and what are the merits and demerits and strengths and lackings of the research paper. Then we will talk about the limitations and criticisms and the validation of results. Then we will talk about some of the gaps which is we have identified in the research paper. Then we will recommend some of the workable solution for the improvement of this research, and then we will talk about the implication for the future practice and the future research. So I'm moving to the last segment of our presentation. We will talk about the conclusion, and then we will talk about the references. So in this slide, we will talk about the introduction of this presentation. So as I have told you guys before, this is the research paper number 36, and the title is Total Quality Management and Organizational Success. The author of this research paper is Abasudu Wu, and it was published in the year 2022. And the journal in which this research paper was published was the International Journal of Academic and Applied Research. The main focus of this research work is to draw a relationship between the total quality management and organizational success. So the author has also utilized a few key variables in his research work. So these are the product and process improvements and employee and customer satisfaction. Actually, there is a direct correlation between all these four items. The improvement in one results in the improvement of all the other three, and if there is a decline in any of these items, so overall there is a deterioration of all the other three. So let's move on to the research objectives and problem statement. As the Nigerian manufacturing industry is facing a huge quality control issue due to the rising material costs and the lack of the total quality management adaptation in their industry. And the objective of this research work is that how we can improve the product's quality and the processes involved in the manufacturing of these products so that we consume less time, and in that less time we manufacture a high quality product. And through all these two measures we will not only increase the employee satisfaction, and also as a result the customer satisfaction will increase. And it, in a nutshell, it will increase the overall productivity of the Nigerian manufacturing industry in the longer run. So in this slide, I will talk about the methodology overview, which has been adopted by the author in his research work. So basically, I will talk about some merits and demerits of the methodology. So this is the literature-based review, and it utilizes only the secondary sources like the academic journals, books, reports, citations of the previous authors, and there is no primary source of data like no questionnaires, no surveys, no interviews conducted by visiting the industry, and there is no statistics involved in this research work, like no numericals, no tables, no graphs. So we were only talking about uh, the data which has been sourced by the secondary sources. From now onwards, I will invite my other group member, Priya Sherpa, to continue. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Priya Sherpa. Summary of finding. Research shows that total quality management or TQM plays a key role in organizational success. By improving products and processes, organization can significantly increase customer satisfaction and overall performance. Based on existing studies, it is recommended that companies focus on employee training, adopt modern technologies, and commit to continuous improvement. While these findings are drawn from prior research and not empirically tested, they highlight important strategies for long term success. This research has several important strengths. First, it is grounded in a strong theoretical foundation. It draws on well known quality management theories from Deming, Juren, and Crosby, while also incorporating modern studies that shows a positive link between total quality management practices and organizational performance. The framework clearly explains how important improvement in products and processes lead to higher employee and customer satisfaction. Another strength is its practical relevance, especially the for manufacturing firms in emerging economies like Nigeria. The study addresses real challenges such as rising costs and global competition and presents TQM as a key strategy for survival and competitiveness. Its recommendations, staff training, technology investment, and continuous improvement are realistic and applicable. Finally, the paper is well structured and easy to follow, making it useful for student academics and business practice. Despite its strength, the study has notable limitations. It relies entirely on secondary data and does not use primary research, which means the proposed relationships are not empirically tested. The paper also lacks methodological rigor, as it does not clearly explain its research design or how the literature was selected and analyzed. In addition, key variables such as employee and customer satisfaction, as well as product and process improvement, as discussed in broad terms without clear measurement criteria. This weakness limits the study's credibility and its potential for imperial testing. The study also shows several weaknesses. Its contextual focus is narrow as it discusses manufacturing in Nigeria without providing case studies or real industry evidence, which limits its practical relevance and wider applicability. The literature review is also repetitive and overly descriptive, restating the benefits of TQM without offering critical analysis or identifying research gap. Finally, the research lacks validation as its conclusions are based solely on existing studies and are not tested or verified using new data or multiple sources, reducing the reliability of its finding. These slides explain how the study's results were validated and the key limitation in that approach rather than using original data or field research. The findings were validated through the citation of prior studies such as Derjobsky and Simon's work from 1999. While refreshing established literature adds credibility, it does not replace empirical verification. The crucial flaw is that no original testing was conducted, meaning the findings remain largely hypothetical. In addition, the study does not critically assess whether the cited research, mostly conducted in different countries and contexts, is directly applicable to Nigeria. As a result, the conclusion should be interpreted with caution and seen as a foundation for future context specific research than the definitive evidence.
So my name is Varun Indisant and now I'm gonna talk about gaps in the research. So there is four gaps: empirical gap, methodological gap, uh, theoretical gap, and contextual gap. So in empirical gap, there is no primary data from the Nigerian firm, and in second gap there is no clear research design, and in the third gap no moderation from the, for example, culture and leadership were taken into account. And in the 4.1, absence of the industry specific examples. Now I'm gonna talk about recommendation for improvement. So there is 5 points: conduct primary research, add methodological research, improve theoretical model, and enhance critical engagement and improve structure. In conduct primary research, there we can add questionnaires, interview, and case studies in Nigeria. And in methodology section, we can comprehensive research design, sampling, and analysis. For improving theoretical model, we can compromise mediocre such as organizational culture, and in critical engagement, we can critique literature and do not only summarize. And for improved structure, we can avoid the repetition and use clear subheadings. In the second last, now I'm going to talk about implication for the practice and future research. So for managers in the practice and future research, we can invest in TQM training, technology, and continuous improvement. And for the research, we can conduct infrastructure studies and incorporate modern themes like digital transformation, sustainability, and eagle management. And for the future direction, we can test frameworks in diverse sections and use longitudinal designs. With that, we can implicate for practice and more in future research. So for the conclusion, AWS paper is well structured literature review with practical insight, but however it lacks empirical and methodological legal. So all we have to do is work on empirical and methodological rigor for our future plans and future projects, so it can serve as foundation for the future research. Thank you.